Hey, my friends, if you like artful films, modern musicals, this is a film not to miss. It's an opera, really, in the grand operatic tradition of some other great musicals such as Evita, The Wall, Jesus Christ Superstar. I mean, it's a musical, but this is almost an operatic musical for sure, because there's an operatic singer that plays a prominent role in the film. And it's a tragic film. I'm going to say that. It's heartbreaking, but it's also magnificent in its glory and splendor. Ron and Russell Mael, two brothers from LA, California, better known as Sparks, the band Sparks. They've been around 50 years making great music, lots of albums. Check them out if you're not familiar. They had a movie. I don't know if this was their original concept, but they had a movie in them 50, 60 years ago. As brothers going to movies all the time in film school there in LA, they wanted to make a movie, but they became pop stars instead. And they're getting bigger and well known this year, recently, with their most recent album. And this film, I mean, the movie that came out this year earlier called The Sparks Brothers, that's a documentary, came out about 4 or 5 months ago. I highly recommend that if you're curious about the band at all. It's a very entertaining, fulfilling film, just very satisfying. I really recommend The Sparks Brothers. But this is the movie they wanted to make as artists, and they really are artists. I mean, you just have to check their music videos out to discover that, or their album covers, you know. These guys design every album cover they've ever had, and they're every one amazing. So, my biggest recommendation for this film, it's got Marion Cotillard and Adam Driver as the principal lead actors. And it's just a thrilling ride. A very dark film. I mean, visually, it's very dark, but it's also very beautiful, just exquisite imagery, both natural scenes of a modern day world, but also it kind of feels like an other world, an older world within. There's some really dramatic effects that are just so magnificent. I'm not going to give you a clue. I'm not even going to give away the biggest secret of the film, which is, who is Annette? The movie is called Annette. I should have mentioned that in the beginning, I suppose. But it's called Annette, and I'm just going to leave that part blank unless you want to look at the trailer. I recommend you to go in with no expectations. This is a movie that explores surrealism, artistic modern surrealism, in a way that's just captivating. I mean, the director of the film, and I'll list all the names here at the bottom so you'll have that to reference if you want to. But I can see aspects of other filmmakers that also used visual imagery in a powerful way, such as Stanley Kubrick, at times Alfred Hitchcock for dramatic effect, Alan Parker for sure, and many others. I mean, there's so many great filmmakers who have made great musicals. So they have little parts and bits, you know, taken from a lot of those people, I'm sure were influenced, but also it is extremely original from beginning to finish. And I recommend you stay through the credits if you want to see the whole film. It's just was really jaw-dropping for me. I mean, I went in thinking it was going to be an upbeat kind of pop, you know, whatever. I had no idea. It's not. It's going to really surprise you. The artistry and also the dynamics and the depth of drama, of melodrama. I had emotions in the film. I wasn't outright crying, but I had a lot of emotions came up for me at different scenes, and I think it will for you too, because the film, it's hyperbolic. It's a lot of it is symbolic, so it's over the top at times, but also it has a very powerful effect, I think, on us as the viewer. We're sitting there in our seat just taken in by this beautiful, beautiful way of depicting different scenes involving people in very deep and personal, intimate relationships. And so there's a family drama going on. There's a triad. There's all kinds of different angles that you've seen in other films, but I've never, ever seen them done quite like it is in this film. It's riveting, it's powerful, at times it's hysterically funny. I laughed out loud. I didn't hear a lot of other people laughing, but you know, my warped sense of humor, I guess I get the Sparks humor a little bit more than other people. But yeah, I did laugh out loud a good number of times, and I'm just thoroughly looking forward to seeing this film again. We'll probably revisit this film many times. I'll have to get it on Blu-ray when it comes out. I may go back and see it at the theater again, and enjoy it, I'm sure, as much, because it really, really got to me through every fiber of my being and my soul. I was touched by this film, and the fact that these two brothers had wanted to bring this to the screen for so long. I can see why. It's a very heartfelt film. I think it's not meant to create joy in you necessarily, although there were joyful moments in the film for sure. but I think it's meant to touch us in a way to appreciate how life is so short and the choices we make matter so much day to day with our family, our choices of careers, our interactions with people, the way we treat ourselves. It's all critical to our quality of life and how our life's going to turn out, our life story. And this film, as again, I'm going to let you know it's a tragedy, so right away you're going to know that. But I'm not going to give you any more hints about what the movie's about. I just recommend you check it out as soon as you can. The film is called Annette, and it's at the theaters now.